back at it on a Tuesday, and a very nice one indeed. It is the 23rd day of April, 2024. I am Dan Kuntz, and this is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Once again, chilly, 37 degrees. That's what we were yesterday at this time, but we warmed up nicely, got all the way to 63, just a degree below normal. It was a very pleasant day. We're in for another one today. It's going to be warmer still today. We'll be in the upper 60s today. Pretty good looking Wednesday. Things start changing a little bit. On Thursday, we'll have a gradual cooling trend. It'll be a little more unsettled. Going to see a few more clouds. Then the weekend looks pretty good. So as far as clouds and cooler weather, that's going to be basically Thursday and Friday. Saturday looks pretty good. Sunday does as well. Complete forecast details are coming up. A lot of news. Busy day in the newsroom yesterday. Chock full of information that you're going to want to see and hear when we get to the news in just a few minutes. In sports, pretty quiet. Mostly what's going to happen, not what did happen. For one thing, the Mariners had yesterday off. They finally take on a team from the American League West. The Major League Baseball tweaked the schedule a few years ago. Now everybody, there's 30 teams in Major League Baseball. Everybody will play everybody now, which is why the Mariners have been playing all these games against National League teams. Well, they finally get the Rangers, the team that owned them pretty good last year. We'll preview that and what's going on in the world of preps. And we have not one, but two long-form interviews for you in the back half of the program. The Del Nino Community Health Festival, which is an apple blossom event, is this Sunday at Met Howell Park, not far from where I'm sitting. Jefferson Robbins went down and talked to a couple of the organizers of that event. That is on Sunday, and we're going to replay the interview I did with Dave Erickson and Katie Hoffman from the City of Wenatchee's Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services Department. All things that they're doing outside of the pool. Yesterday we talked about the remodeling and renovation of the Wenatchee City Pool. Now we'll talk about other stuff that Dave and Katie and their crew have going on in Parks and Rec. So we have two long-form stories for you in the back half of the program. And 2 minutes after the hour, let's take our tour. Same cameras as yesterday. It's a long story and technical difficulties. Please stand by. But hey, we still have them. You know, you take what you can get. Good morning to the Wenatchee Valley. Off in the distance is Sunny Slope, of course. Birch Mountain, Omi Gardens is open and doing good business. And we are looking good as we're getting closer and closer to the 105th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival, which kicks off on Thursday at noon. And yes, we will have a camera there for Chief for a day. Camera 2, back up to Lake Chelan we go from our Lower Butte camera. Again, we have two cameras on the Chelan Butte. One's at the very, very top, about 4,000 feet in elevation. This one's a little bit lower and a little bit closer to the town of Chelan proper, which is why we can see it pretty good. Sunrise this morning for the Wenatchee Valley, 5:56. Sunset tonight, we can safely say tonight because it's after 8 o'clock, 8:02. That's 14 hours and 6 minutes of daylight today. And again, we hit 63 on Monday, normal high 64. It felt just fine to me. Union Valley camera looking at Chelan from another angle. You can see just a few high clouds up there, but it's still going to be very nice until that subtle cooling trend arrives late tomorrow into Thursday. Good morning to Chelan from an entirely different angle with Wenatchee Valley way off in the distance, and of course down near Royal City as we look out over the beautiful town of Wahluke and down near the Hanford Nuclear Reservation and the Columbia River. You can see a little sliver of it down there. It's one of our newest towers that we have down there. It looks like they have a few high clouds hanging around to the south of us. That camera's a long way from Wenatchee, but we can still use it. I mean, why not? From the National Weather Service, what are we looking at? Quite a bit of sunshine today, very little wind to talk of. High of about 68, our normal high is 64, so we're looking good there. Clouds tonight, not too many, 47 for the overnight low. Clouds and sun kind of going to do a little battle tomorrow. We'll call it partly cloudy. Wind will pick up a little bit on Wednesday, not too bad, just a degree cooler, high of about 67. The cool air starts pooling into our area Wednesday night. We're going to see quite a bit of cloud cover. Little breeze Wednesday night, 44 for the overnight low. And as you can see, it will be considerably cooler for day one of the Apple Blossom Festival under cloudy conditions, it looks like, and a high of 63, 46 for the overnight low on Thursday night, with even a slight chance of some light rain. Best chance of any kind of measurable rain is actually going to be Friday. And even that's only about a 30% chance of rain. Not a lot. It is going to be cloudy Friday and a high of 65 for the Tenaplex Youth Parade on Saturday. Partly sunny and a high of 65. We close out the first weekend of the festival under partly sunny skies and a high of 64. So a gradual cooling trend, but very little rain, and we'll have more sun than clouds, and we'll take that. All right, that's your forecast. It's 5 minutes after the hour. What made news on Monday? We'll let you know in 2 minutes. You're watching a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to Blueberry Hills to experience some real treats. Take a look at our homemade cream pies, our amazing cheesecakes, and don't forget our famous banana pudding. Remember, we're more than just great treats. People come from all over the world to experience what has been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Oh, look at this.
This would look really good in the kitchen.
Or the living room. Just look at it.
New windows are a work of art. Upgrade your home's windows and get cash back from Chelan County PUD.
This is gonna look great in the house.
From the ocean to the mountains to the forest in between, vacation time can be a fun time. But not if your car breaks down. Let the professionals at Global Car Care be your car maintenance partners. Global Car Care, serving our valley for 25 years. With expert service, integrity, and quality workmanship. Global Car Care. They speak your car's language. Few high clouds, 37 degrees. We'll be in the upper 60s today, upper 60s Wednesday with a few more clouds. Cool down a little bit on Thursday and Friday, and then we warm back up again with some sunshine just in time for the weekend. It's 7 minutes after the hour, and it is election day. So for you folks in Douglas County, today is the day. Get your ballots in. The April special election is now, and it'll be the second time this year that East Wenatchee residents, or folks who live in the Eastmont School District anyway, will vote on the $117 million Eastmont school bond. The Washington Secretary of State's office, the last we checked, showed about 6,100 accepted ballots in Douglas County. Now, some of those ballots will be for the Brewster School District. They have a levy going on there. The Eastmont School District decided to give the bond another shot in February after the measure failed. It got 59.56% voter approval, just 1/2 of 1% short of the needed 60% supermajority. Of course, the voting deadline is 8 o'clock tonight, so don't mail your ballot in if you haven't voted. Use the drop box. If you mail it, it's not going to count. After 12 years in Olympia, State Senator Brad Hawkins is running for office, only this time closer to home. Hawkins announcing yesterday he will not seek re-election to the Senate for District 12. Instead, he's going to enter the race for Chelan County Commissioner. The two-term senator will run in an already crowded field to replace District 3 Commissioner Tiffany Gehring. They already have 3 candidates who said they're in, and now we have 4. Brant Capel, Flint Hartwig, and Chris Willoughby have already decided to run for the seat. Hawkins said his decision resulted from the redrawing of his district amidst a lawsuit over Latino voting rights, as well as too much time spent away from his family. His father, of course, Bill Hawkins, previously served 2 terms as a Chelan County Commissioner in the early 2000s. The leading Republican candidate for Washington governor walked away from the state GOP convention in Spokane over the weekend. Former Congressman Dave Reichert pulled his name after delegates at the state GOP convention in Spokane voted to reinstate former Richland School Board member Semi Bird. Bird had been disqualified by the party's state committee over his prior conviction for a financial crime. Reichert said he wouldn't participate in the process. Bird won the subsequent endorsement with a 72% of the vote of the delegates. Both men will still appear on the primary ballot in August. They're among a total of 9 candidates so far seeking the Republican nomination for governor. Construction of the girls' softball field at Triangle Park began yesterday. The Wenatchee School District will work with Davenport-based Halmy Construction on the project. The $4.1 million softball field will resolve a Title IX complaint that was filed against the district in 2022 that alleged unequal treatment of male and female athletes. Next month, the district will hold a groundbreaking ceremony at the park. It'll be May 9th at 11 a.m. The brand new ballpark and the associated fields is expected to be completed by August. The Osborne Elementary School property that's owned by the city of Leavenworth is going to have a brand new playground, and they could use it. The property was purchased by the city of Leavenworth from the Cascade School District 4 years ago after the school board deemed the property surplus. Of course, they built and have now opened the new elementary school, Alpine Lakes. A neighborhood playground committee was formed last July to oversee the development, and the Leavenworth City Council approved the proposed equipment and playground design. A little over $1 million will be the cost. In a meeting on March 26th, demolition will begin this spring. Construction expected to be completed come fall. And of course, yesterday was Earth Day all over the earth, and among the areas that were celebrating and commemorating Earth Day, Leavenworth. A lot of communities, of course, celebrated Earth Day. In Leavenworth, they had Earth Day Fair in Enchantment Park, and it drew hundreds of people. They had music, they had food, they had education. The event was organized by Waste Loop. That's the nonprofit campaign to reduce the garbage stream in the Upper Valley. Attendees could get hands-on with compost, recycling, and repair, native plants, and other programs to keep their communities clean and green. And that's what's making news at 12 minutes after the hour. If you think it's important to you to know what's going on around here, well, we like to think it is. Check out the news with Grant Olson at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight. 5, 6, and 10, the news on television. If that doesn't work for you, if you consume your news via the World Wide Web, our newscast will be up and running on our homepage, ncwlife.com, our YouTube page, our Facebook page, our app. We have an Instagram account. We have X, formerly Twitter, formerly X. We have it all. And if you think something out there warrants our attention, send us an email, please. It's news@ncwlife.com. Sports, 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
It's a great time to go into the medical profession. And this is the perfect place to start, because this is going to provide you that basic understanding in order to get into medical school, physical therapy school. So when you are ready to head on your career pathway, wherever it is, then you've already had some experience and say, oh, it's so cool. This is exactly what I want to do. So really, you're going to leave me with 13 college credits and a license with the state of Washington.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chair on the other side. You can lift this up time warranty.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
Ooh. You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Let Mary Maid's custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maid's cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it, if only you had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties, Mary Maids, let us help.
It's Click It RV Moses Lake's huge spring cleaning liquidation event. Now extended through the end of April. On Frontage Road, there's huge savings on all models and top manufacturers like Flagstaff and Grand Design with super low interest rates, 0 down, and no payments until September. And our trade-up program gets you up to $4,000 above book. Enter to win $30,000 in cash or a new 2023 StarCraft trailer. So beat the spring rush and don't miss this huge spring cleaning liquidation event. Now extended through the end of April on Frontage Road.
Sports at 15 minutes after the hour. After playing their first 22 games against teams outside of their own division, the American League West, the Mariners finally play their first game today against a division rival. And it's not just anybody. They're in Arlington to take on the world champion Texas Rangers. I'll have to get used to saying that. The Rangers lead the division. They're 12-11. The M's are just a half game back at 11-11. The Rangers won 9 of 13 against the Mariners last year, including all 6 games in Arlington. First pitch tonight, 5:05 on Root Sports. It was a Monday, so pretty light day in the Les Schwab American League West scoreboard. The A's beat the Yankees 2-0. The Orioles got past the Angels 4-2. So it's not what's going on, it's what's going to happen. Here's your prep soccer schedule today. The Davis Pirates will be at Leibofter Field at the Apple Bowl to take on the Wenatchee Panthers in soccer. We will have that for you at 7 o'clock tonight on the NCW Life channel. West Valley will be at Moses Lake. They'll get going at 7 o'clock. Earlier this afternoon, it'll be Ephrata at Othello and Ellensburg at Grandview, but that's just the beginning. Other schools will be playing soccer. Cashmere will be at Chelan at 4 o'clock. Cascade can win outright the Caribou Trail League boys soccer title with a victory at Quincy. Of course, Cascade unbeaten so far this year. That's at 6 o'clock. Brewster's at Pateros at 4:30 in the afternoon, as is Okanagan hosting Bridgeport, and Orville welcomes Liberty Bell. Prep baseball. Single games today. Moses Lake at Recreation Park at 5 o'clock to take on the Panthers. Eastmont travels down to Yakima to take on West Valley, also at 5 o'clock. Quincy and Toppenish have a doubleheader. First pitch of the first game at 3 o'clock down in Toppenish. Other games today. Cascade is at Omak at 4 o'clock. Cashmere will be at Chelan at 4:30. Liberty Bell at Tenasket. They'll get going at 3 o'clock. Another doubleheader. Manson will host Orville for a couple of games. First pitch in the first game at 3:30. Lake Roosevelt travels to Brewster for a single game at 4:30. And Waterville-Mansfield welcomes Riverside Christian at 4:30. Prep softball. Ephrata is at Quincy. That'll be a doubleheader. First pitch of the first game there at 3 o'clock. Cascade will be at Omak at 4:30. Also at 3 o'clock today is Liberty Bell at Tenasket. Manson and Orville will do a doubleheader at Manson. First pitch of the first game there at 3 o'clock. At 4:30, Brewster welcomes Lake Roosevelt, and Waterville-Mansfield will take on Soap Lake at 4 o'clock in girls fast pitch softball. And another reminder, we got it tonight. It is the Davis Pirates and the Wenatchee Panthers at Leibofter Field at the Apple Bowl. The handsome and talented Sebastian Moraga and the even more handsome and even more talented Matt Wisen will have the call. Pre-game at 6:50, and they'll get going at 7 o'clock. We'll have it right here on the NCW Life channel and our associated live stuff, Facebook and that stuff. And those are just some of the games that people are playing at 17 minutes after the hour. A lot of obscure holidays. First of all, it's the first day of Passover, not obscure. But there are some other holidays that you're more than welcome to celebrate if you so desire, such as today is English Language Day. It's German Beer Day. Isn't it every day German Beer Day, at least in Germany? It's Lover's Day. It's National Picnic Day. It's National Take a Chance Day, so step out of your comfort zone. It's National Cherry Cheesecake Day. It sounds good to me right about now. National Lost Dog Awareness Day. It's National Table Tennis Day, or ping pong, if you prefer. We're not doing any of these today. Today we are hailing the bus driver. Hail to the bus driver, bus driver. That's supposed to be a school bus. It's a school bus driver day today. Trust me on this. It is National School Bus Driver Day. It's always celebrated on the 4th Tuesday in April, so much so that we don't have a picture for it. Fun facts about school buses. Man, they make a lot of trips. Every year in the United States and Canada, we'll do them both together, as you imagine, if you will, that there's a school bus on your screen. 8 billion student trips in the United States and Canada each year. Each day, nearly 484,000 kids will ride a school bus. That's a lot. In fact, the odds are pretty good if you go to school anytime in public schools between K through your senior year. You're going to ride in a school bus, even if you don't take a school bus to school. If you participate in extracurricular activities, band or sports or whatever, you're going to be on a school bus. No question about that. Approximately 55% of all school bus men, there you go, 44% are men. The demand for school bus drivers is highest in the greater New York City area. School buses are painted yellow, and it is a unique yellow thing because they want to be as visible as possible out on the road. That's why it's actually a specific kind of yellow. And according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board, school buses are the safest form of automobile travel known. It is statistically, a school bus is over 70 times safer for a kid to get to school than having a parent drive them. They are very safe. They only have roughly 5 fatalities a year involving a student in a school bus, so it is very, very safe. Hail to the bus driver, bus driver, bus driver. It's 20 minutes after the hour. This is hard to believe. There have been, since the dawn of Major League Baseball, there have been 323 no-hitters thrown by one pitcher. There have been combined no-hitters, but 323 no-hitters thrown by a single pitcher. 322 of those, the pitcher who threw the no-hitter won the game. And then there's what happened to Ken Johnson on April 23rd, 1964. 60 years ago today, Ken Johnson of the Houston Colt 45s, now the Astros, throws a 9-inning perfect no-hitter, 9-inning no-hitter at home and loses to the Reds 1-0. The only run in the entire game was scored in the top of the 9th inning. Pete Rose reached base on an error by Ken Johnson, the pitcher. He went to third on a ground out, and then he scored on another error by Nellie Fox on a ground ball. The opposing Reds pitcher put down the Houston Colt 45s in order in the bottom of the 9th, and Ken Johnson remains the only player ever to lose an official 9-inning no-hitter. That must have been tough. 2 errors in the 9th did him in. That was 60 years ago today. You remember New Coke? Yeah, New Coke rolled out on this date, 1985. I remember this. They changed their formula and came out with New Coke. To this day, a lot of people think it was just a publicity stunt or just to drive attention. Pepsi had been making significant inroads into the Coca-Cola market by the mid-1980s. Of course, their response was negative, and I'm being kind, to say the least, among the Coca-Cola fans out there. The original formula back on the market in less than 3 months, and then they sold New Coke side by side with traditional Coke, and I don't even think New Coke even exists anymore. I wonder how much you can get for a 6-pack of New Coke that would be 39 years old. I wonder how much those go for on eBay. Who knows? New Coke. I don't think so. And 19 years ago today, the very first, we got the YouTube video. We have to show the YouTube video. Here it is, the first ever YouTube video ever posted on YouTube. Here it is.
All right, so here we are in front of the elephants. And the cool thing about these guys is that they have really, really, really long fronts, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all there is to say.
That was it. The first ever YouTube video. They got better. That was on this date in 2006. Let's do some birthdays. You briefly saw Bill Shakespeare. Now you're going to see him again. He was born on April 23rd, 1564, we think. Nobody really knows Shakespeare's birthday because back in 1564, they didn't really keep track of these things, at least accurately. Normally, you would be baptized 2 or 3 days after you were born, and the person officiating the baptism would write down the day you were born and then the day you were baptized. We don't have that record of William Shakespeare. Most historians agree that he was born on April 23rd, 1564, but nobody really knows for sure. There's no written record, and Bill Shakespeare did pretty good for himself, considering he only lived to the age of 52. And by the way, no portrait of William Shakespeare was ever painted of him while he was alive. They figured, he's going to live a long time. Well, he died at the age of 52, and then they realized nobody ever actually painted his picture. So that's what we think he looked like anyway. Nobody really knows because no portrait of him was actually painted while he was alive. Bill Shakespeare, born in the state in 1564. Another heavenly birthday, the 15th president of the United States, and probably the worst one we ever had, which is saying something. James Buchanan, born in the state in 1791. He was the only president who never got married. His niece handled all the social engagements at the White House. Most historians agree because he did absolutely nothing to prevent the Civil War. He didn't lift a finger. He just kind of let it happen. It wasn't like they didn't know it was coming. Because of that, James Buchanan is considered probably the worst president we've ever had. And even though he thought slavery was completely morally fine and legal, and he also, James Buchanan, thought that any state could leave the Union at any time for any reason, he actually supported Abraham Lincoln's policies during the Civil War. James Buchanan, born in the state in 1791. We always do the presidents, even though that one was not very good. The legendary Roy Orbison. Oh, it's all good stuff. We miss Roy. We lost him way too young. Roy Orbison, born in the state in 1936 in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, second class of 1987. Just listen to the music. The music speaks for itself. The legendary Roy Orbison, we miss him. And Prince Louis of Cambridge, there he is. That's an old picture. They just released a new picture of him today because he's 6. He's 4th in line to the British throne behind his dad and his 2 older siblings. So, Louis, don't hold your breath, buddy. You ain't going to get the gig. But he's 6 years old today. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Special thanks to our friends at Pool to Spa Services. I wouldn't mind having a hot tub. If I'm ever going to get me a hot tub, I'm going to go to Pool to Spa Services to get it, I can tell you that. Pool to Spa Services on Worthing Street down by the Pybus Public Market, and from our friends at Prestige Senior Living at Colonial Vista. Mike McNaughty has an opinion about check stands when you go to the grocery store. This ought to be good. Then we have 2 features coming your way. We're going to replay the interview I did with Dave Erickson talking about all the activities and the improvements that the Wenatchee Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services Department is doing. We'll have that. And Jefferson Robbins had a chance to talk to the organizers of the big Dia del Nino Community Health Festival, which is this Sunday at Met Hal Park. Both of those when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Attention, attention. It's Collins Fashion's big buy one, get one free sale. That's right. Buy one red check or tag item for half price and receive the next item free. Amazing selection of vests, jackets, sweaters, tops, boots, scarves, etc., etc. And we are receiving wonderful spring merchandise arriving daily. Capris, colorful tops, dresses, special occasion fashions for your upcoming events. We have foundation, shoes, and jewelry, personal service and stylists and savings, all at Collins in downtown Wenatchee.
The Honda you want is here. Get a great offer on the stylish HR-V or the Civic. Which car and driver called fun to drive? There's never been a better time to drive in the moment with Honda. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today.
Let nothing stand between you and the tree stand with this great offer on the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick. Featuring a gas-powered engine that delivers a top speed of 40 miles per hour, outstanding acceleration and handling with cargo, and a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty. Get the Sidekick now for 0 down, 0% APR for 36 months or save $1,000.
I moved here 6 years ago. The manager here asked me what I like to do, and I told him that I like to play games, I like to play cards. And he said, "Boy, have I got a woman for you to meet." And he introduced me to her, and we walked down the hall, and I took her hand, and we've never let go of each other.
Life is so good when you're happy, and I'm very happy at Prestige.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you, members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I'm in the grocery store one Saturday morning, and I need to use a regular check stand, not the self-check thing. Now, guess what? There's no check stand open. Does this business not realize that the check stands are where their money comes in, and taking my money for their stuff is what they're in business for, isn't it? Well, isn't that the point of their business, for them to offer me stuff that I'm willing to give them money for? You know, I know there's issues with getting enough employees, but there are people who work in these local businesses who've told me that they need more hours, but they and other employees' hours are being cut and they can't get enough. Now, I got no problem with a business working to improve their bottom line, But is it getting to the point that some businesses seem to have forgotten that they are dependent on customers like me, customers who have other options? And if it gets to the point where a business priorities tip the scales to where they think they're doing me a favor to take my money, well, there's little question as to why some businesses go belly up. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
It's me, Blippi! Blippi's back on stage with his brand new Wonderful World Tour.
I'm an excavator.
Sing, dance, and make new discoveries. In Blippi, the Wonderful World Tour with special guest Mika.
My name is Mika. Yeah, it's nice to meet ya.
For tickets and more, visit BlippiOnTour.com. Blippi, the Wonderful World Tour.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
It's the NCW Life Community Calendar, a presentation of Alpine Air. The 105th Washington State Apple Blossom Festival begins Thursday, April 25th and runs through Sunday, May 5th. Day 1 kicks off with the Chief for a Day ceremonies, and the first weekend features the Tenaplex Youth Parade, the Wenatchee Valley Color Rush, the Pepsi-Cola Youth Day, the opening of the Blossoms and Brews Beer Garden, the Gisa Entertainment Stage, and the Fantastic Shows Carnival. All you need to know is at appleblossom.org.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether,
we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
"32 minutes after the hour. For the past 3 years, health advocates here in the Wenatchee Valley have been organizing and putting on what's called the Dia del Niño Community Health Festival. It's held at Methow Park. It's an official Apple Blossom event. This year it takes place this Sunday. They'll be offering health screenings and education alongside fun family events. Our own Jefferson Robbins met with a couple of the organizers, Dr. Bindu Nayak of Confluence Health and Oscar Licon of Parque Padrinos, to ask about how this particular part of the Apple Blossom Festival got its start.
Dia del Niño dates back to 1925, where it began its celebration in Mexico, and now we see it in a lot of Latino communities or Latin communities, across the Americas. And so it's great to be able to bring that here to Wenatchee, and especially here to Methow Park, where we're surrounded by a large population of Latino families. And so, and with the health piece in there, it's great to bring those resources to the community.
This is our third annual health fair, and we are doing it to celebrate health and wellness in our community and to offer additional information and screening to our Latino community, especially surrounding areas of health disparities. We know in our community that there are some health disparities affecting some groups more than others. So with this health fair, we want to give additional information and screenings to the Latino community surrounding certain health disparities. Health disparities are when there is an unequal amount of disease or unequal opportunities to achieve optimal health. One of those areas is diabetes. We know that there's a greater occurrence of diabetes for Latino, Black, Asian, and American Indian populations. We also know that in our community, there's less control of diabetes for these groups as well. So we want to offer the ability to screen for diabetes. So if you are in one of those groups, or if you have a direct family member who has diabetes, your risk of diabetes is much greater. So we'll offer the opportunity to screen for diabetes and give information on what to do if you have diabetes or prediabetes. We're also going to offer the opportunity to screen for high blood pressure and give information on what to do if you have high blood pressure. We're going to talk about wildfire smoke and how to protect yourself and your family from the harmful effects of wildfire smoke, especially if anyone in the family has asthma or lung disease.
There's going to be different community booths, so we're going to invite nonprofit organizations to come also participate. But on top of information, we're going to have a lot of fun kid games, a lot of fun kid activities. We'll have some, food. We'll have various vendors. We'll have entertainment, live entertainment on the stage. So it's going to be a great time to celebrate and also, come do the wellness check. And so we're excited, and we're excited to invite the community, and we expect a lot of folks here.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
The Honda you want is here. Get a great offer on the stylish HR-V or the Civic. Which car and driver called fun to drive? There's never been a better time to drive in the moment with Honda. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into your local Honda dealer today.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents The Magic of Manson.
Spring is here at the Chelan Ridge Winery. Check out the all-new deck area, enjoy an amazing view, new vintage wines, and that down-home hospitality Chelan Ridge is famous for.
Wine Girl Wines is already famous for wine, beer, and great entertainment. And now they have added craft cocktails to the list of food and drink. So pop on by our Manson location for some good old-fashioned fun.
I moved here 6 years ago. The manager here asked me what I like to do, and I told him that I like to play games, I like to play cards. And he said, "Boy, have I got a woman for you to meet." And he introduced me to her, and we walked down the hall, and I took her hand, and we've never let go of each other.
Life is so good when you're happy, and I'm very happy at Prestige.
You've got a lot to do today. While you're out and about, remember to dispose of your unused medications safely and anonymously. It's a simple act that makes your home a safer place. Next time you're at the pharmacy, just place them in the drop box. To find a location, visit medproject.org.
Welcome back to the program. This is part 2 of our two-part conversation with Dave Erickson, the director of the City of Wenatchee's Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Services Department, and his latest hire, Katie Hoffman from the beautiful town of Ellensburg via Clarkston she's been around anyway, on her first day at work, and Dave makes her come out and talk with me with nonsense. Yesterday we talked about the city pool update. Things are looking good on time and on schedule. This is now spring. This is when you guys, it's not like you guys aren't working in the winter, you're working your butts off. But now things really kick into high gear in your department. You got a lot of projects in the hopper. Let's start with what's been a great project, especially for the neighborhood, Lincoln Park, the largest of your parks, probably the busiest used, I would guess, between the fields and the stage and the playground and everything else that you've put in over the last year and a half or so. Give us an update on Lincoln Park and what still needs to be done.
Yeah, so absolutely the busiest. You know, ever since we added the disc golf course and the soccer field, you can't keep people off it to even water it. The splash pad, the playground, the picnic shelters, there's something going on all the time there. So Lincoln Park, we're going to be doing a sidewalk project. I know not super exciting, but it's a sidewalk project on the Crawford parking lot side where we'll connect the Crawford parking lot area all the way up to the trail system. So you'll be able to walk from your car safely, not through the parking lot, but on a sidewalk up there. Then we also have another $310,000 grant with the state they're waiting to hear about, and if we're successful in that, that'll help. We'll go in and renovate the baseball fields. So in that particular case, we will take and strip all the sod off, bring in topsoil, and re-level those baseball fields to try to get them back in a little bit better playing condition.
They've been kind of loved to death, really. They get a lot of use, those baseball fields.
Yeah, a little bit. And you know, Lincoln Park is unique in that it's an old city dump and a canyon. So it settles at different levels and different rates and things. So your field, you might lose a center fielder out there because you might go into a depression. So we're trying to get all those areas cleaned up and straightened out. So hopefully we'll get this grant and can do that work later this summer.
It's one thing to have the neighborhood embrace a park. Every neighborhood, basically, the city of Wenatchee has a park within a short walking distance. And the people who live in and around the Lincoln Park area have embraced what you guys have done over the last couple of years. The whole city has, in many respects. It's become a gathering place.
It really has. Yeah, it's really been popular. You know, and we also run events down there. So like the movie in the park, or Tardiatis program, or concerts in the park, things like that. It really helps bring that community together down in that area, and it's really turned out well.
And so, is this about it for the Lincoln Park? I mean, there's always maintenance, but this was a huge project that lasted about 2.5 years, right?
Yes.
So is this about it now with the sidewalk thing coming in?
That's it for the big things. There might be some smaller things over the years, like lighting and additional walkway improvements and things like that. But as far as big features, this is pretty well takes care of it.
Let's go to Med-Hal Park. Let's talk about Med-Hal Park, the backstop project there. It has a cool little mini soccer field, which is just, the kids just love it.
Yes.
But it, you know, again, kind of like the baseball fields, kind of loved to death a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's been packed. I mean, that field is used constantly down there, and what you can see on the screen is that this backstop was built and designed. It's only about 8 feet high, the actual fence.
Well, soccer balls fly higher than that.
Typically, yeah, they go a little bit taller than that, and you can see the house that's strategically located directly behind the goal area. So this project will actually raise that backstop up to 22 feet. So it's an actual legitimate backstop and stop those balls from flying over that way.
That's being a good neighbor.
Yeah, we'll also be, you can see the short fence on this side, that'll also be raised up to closer to a 6-foot height to help keep the action on the field instead of being outside. And so that's going to start work this June. So it'll be closed, that field will be closed for about a month because it takes time for the concrete to set up and before it can put stress on it.
That's a capital idea, and that does get a lot of love.
It does. Yeah, that's by far and away the most popular thing at that park.
No question about it. Memorial Park is the cornerstone. It's the first park. It's right smack in the middle of town. It's going to be the home for the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival for 11 days. And when that's all said and done, you're bringing in, this is again a project that's been going on for quite some time. It's a tribute by and for the people who got here before we did.
Right, it's our first park and it's for the first people, right? So what we're doing is called the Piscosa Plaza Project. This has been underway since 2015. So the project itself will create a circular shaped plaza with some raised planter beds around the outside, and within the center of that plaza will be a sculpture of Chief John Harmelt, who was the last chief of the Wenatchee tribe, and he'll be on horseback. His horse is called Kumayakin, and that sculpture is made of found items. And so our sculptor, his name's Judd Turner, he's working on this down in Oregon. A couple of the cool things, the horseshoe around the horse's eye was actually found on Chief Harmelt's former property and donated for the sculpture. So we have a number of different things happening within that sculpture itself, everything from incorporating figures from the legends that are told, like Two Bears and Owl Sisters and things like that are incorporated into that sculpture. So that'll be right in the center, in the heart of that sculpture. Then on the north side, we'll also have a sculpture of a mother and daughter, and that's sort of representing the future of the tribe. And so we had Jordan Lucky as a Wenatchee tribal member, and Kevin Patel actually, and I spent a few days with her last summer doing full-on body scans and videoing and taking pictures of her. She was the model for this bronze mother-daughter sculpture that's representing the tribe's future. And so this will be a 5'9" tall bronze sculpture that'll be walking out of the plaza area to the north. And so that's, this week we'll be providing the go-ahead to build that the final sculpture, and Judd Turner's sculpture is about 75% complete. He's got a little ways to go on that, And we're looking at having a dedication ceremony now, not until next year. So it takes a while to build these bronze sculptures and things.
This is a great brainchild. Who came up with this idea? This is brilliant.
Yeah, so it started.
Obviously, it wasn't you.
It was, well, totally it was, yeah. Hate to take credit for it, but you know, someone's got to. No, actually, so this came out of the Memorial Park planning process. We did a master plan update process back in 2015, and one of those elements was to do something that honored the first tribe of Wenatchee. And from that, we didn't know what that would look like. We brought on a designer and through a competitive process, and the designs that they came up with didn't really meet the goals of the project. They didn't really seem like they had reached out to the tribe to find out what they would like to see or anything. So actually, I took it upon myself to take all that information, came up with a concept plan, ran it by the Wenatchee the Wenatchee Advisory Group for the tribe, the Colville tribes, City Council, and also the Arts Rec and Park Commission, and everybody kind of gave me a thumbs up and said, hey, this is it. This is what we want to do. So from there, then I reached out and found the artists that we thought would be would match the style that we were going for. And so that's where we found Judd Turner, and Kevin Patel is our bronze sculptor who's done sculptures around town. You've seen them like Guppo the Clown over at the YMCA. And then also Sweet Albert is a Wenatchee tribal artist. He's new, but he's going to be doing sculptures on interpretive sign bases that we're making in there. So it's all come together. We're giving monthly updates to the Wenatchee Advisory Group, and they can't wait for it to come on board. So it's been a pretty amazing process. The support from everybody involved, as well as the City Council to provide the funding for this, has been pretty great.
Dave and I have talked at length on this program the importance of taking large pieces of public real estate and setting it aside for the public. It's big, giant, unbuilt upon places where people can enjoy the outdoors. This is what parks are all about. But the biggest one of them all, I said Lincoln Park, which is true, but we're talking about the trailheads. I'm talking about the system on the west side of town. Again, people love it. People have discovered it, but there are some things people need to remember when you're hiking into the Foothills Trail System on the west side of town. Like, for instance, a bunch of smiling, happy kids right there. There's some etiquette that needs to be observed. Dave, I don't want you to play the heavy, but this is your chance to play the heavy.
Well, it's helpful, you know. All these properties, everything from Saddle Rock to Foothills North to Kenzie's Landing, you name it, have been set aside for everybody to enjoy. And to allow those folks to enjoy them, it's important to remember a few things when you go out and visit it. Of course, this time of year, wildflowers are plentiful. So are the people. You know, it's full of folks. So just try to remind people to, if they're out enjoying those trails, don't pick the flowers. Take a picture of them instead. It'll last a lot longer. The flowers actually die almost immediately once you pick them, because we find them on the trails and that type of thing. We want to make sure that they also, if they bring their four-footed friends with, that on city properties, that they have them on leashes and that they pick up after them. You know, at one point it was a couple years ago, Saddle Rock, we picked up 9 gallons of dog poop right by the trailhead, because just pick up after them and put it in the trash can. Same goes for litter. You know, we don't want to be your mother. Yeah. So bring your litter, put it in the garbage can. We'd really appreciate that. It just makes it better for everybody else out there. A few other things. So parking. I mentioned that, you know, this time of year, it's really crowded. Everybody's up there looking at the great wildflowers and everything else. So if a parking lot is full, make sure that you go to either a different parking location or come back at a different time. So don't park illegally, double park, that type of thing. Please just make sure that you
respect the rights of private property owners.
Exactly. Don't park on someone's front lawn if it happens to be near a trailhead. So just make sure you do that.
And stay on the trail.
Yes, please stay on the trail. So a couple of reasons for that. Number one, if you're off trail, you're creating potentially new erosion. You know, as these trails get used, the informal trails get used, they're not really built to be sustainable. So you want to make sure you stay on those sustainable trails, so that way it doesn't create erosion, which creates a bunch of other issues. As well as you're maybe a little less likely to step on a snake. You can see them a little bit better if it's on a main trail, if they're coming. So be aware that there are snakes out there. We're in their habitat, not really the other way around. And then deer ticks too, that's another thing. So make sure that it's recommended that you wear long sleeves, long pants if you're up there. And at the very least, check your clothing before you get back into your car. One other thing I want to mention too is, there's a lot of naturally occurring minerals out there in the foothills that it just shows up everywhere. So you have everything from iron and aluminum to arsenic and mercury. So it's really recommended that if you do bring your dogs up to the trails, wipe off their feet, pour water over their feet, clean their feet off so that you're not bringing that home. Same thing for your boots. Clean your boots off, clean your shoes off before you get in the car, before you take it home, because it's not great for you to come in contact with anyway.
Yeah, last I checked, arsenic is quite painful. You really don't want to have arsenic in your system. You just don't. How did you do? We need to mention this. You've had some issues with vandalism at some of your parks. Hale Off-Leash Dog Park jumps to mind, some others as well. Some tagging going on. Is that you expect that to pick up when the kids get out of school, longer days, warmer weather? Is that something that you were concerned with?
Yeah, typically years past, I'd say before about 2019 or so, you would expect that. School gets out, okay, we're going to, the first 2 weeks, we're probably going to get some vandalism, tagging, that type of thing. But anymore, it's increased dramatically. Everything from breaking out toilets to stealing heaters out of the restrooms, unbolting them and stealing them, to lighting things on fire, park benches and garbage cans, breaking sinks, tagging, you name it. If you can think of it, they do it. In fact, the last couple of years, we've spent close to $150,000 to $200,000 a year just fixing that vandalism or responding to that. So that way, when everybody else comes out to enjoy the parks, it looks like it should look. So it's a challenge.
People will not come to a park that looks like it's been vandalized and garbage thrown everywhere. That's a turnoff.
Right, and we have our guys, they're out there every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, cleaning those parks and making sure that they're as safe as possible and as attractive as possible for all the visitors.
They do great work and they love their parks. I know almost everybody who's actually in the maintenance part in both taking care of the parks and maintaining the parks. They love their parks, but it drives them nuts when this stuff happens.
Absolutely.
You can just tell talking to them.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Yeah, I bet it is. But they got a good guy like Dave, and now Katie. Well, let's close with Katie. Nothing personal, but first of all, welcome to the Valley.
Thank you.
So, are you bringing any plans with you? These are some of the things I've learned in Ellensburg for my 10 years there, or I'm just going to keep my head above the water, so to speak, and then go from there.
Well, I think right now, just keep my head above water, literally, with the pool opening. So that'll be the goal. I'm just going to get my feet under me, and I'm just excited to kind of get more involved and see what there is to offer before I start saying, well, wouldn't this be fun to try? But maybe down the road, I'll put a bug in his ear about something fun. So.
Well, I tell you one thing, you're working for a great department. It is. It's a great department to work for. People have been there for a long time, too. And that tells you something.
Yeah, our two supervisors have been with the city for more than 30 years. Yeah. I'm going to say about 35 years total.
Yeah, I think Rob's been there for almost 40.
Well, I think he graduated high school in about 1930, so
yeah,
he started.
Rob, if you're watching the show, he's my age. Anything else, Dave, while I have you here? Is that about it?
Quick thing on rec programs.
Oh, please, yes.
Yeah, so
get signed up and do it.
Yeah, registration for day camp is nearly full, so if you haven't signed up, do it quick. And then also we have youth track, so that registration's underway right now. It closes May 3rd, so you're going to want to sign up really soon. It's for 7 to 10-year-olds, and the program's run up to high school, and it's a lot of fun. So those two, and you can find all the other ones on our city website.
Yeah, very friendly, and you can reserve your picnic shelters through the city website. You can find out what the pool schedule is if you want to have a big birthday party at the city pool, that kind of stuff. Very user friendly.
Yeah, both from for recreation programs as well as there's additional information on there too. So park maps if you're trying to find a park and things like that.
Cool. Katie, it's nice meeting you. So the next time we talk about parks on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, we'll just have Katie come.
Perfect.
Nothing personal against you, Dave.
Well, they see us together, people are going to talk.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Katie Hoffman and some guy named Dave. and we'll be right back.
Check out ClubProCashmere.com for upcoming events and tickets.
Let Merry Maids custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee help. Merry Maids cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it, if only you had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties, Merry Maids, let us help.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
The Lake Chelan Chamber of Commerce presents Wonders of Wooden Avenue.
Culinary Apple is North Central Washington's premier kitchen store with everything you need to elevate your own culinary experience.
For the most unique wine tasting experience in the Chelan Valley, visit One Wines. Popular for being the smallest and most intimate facility in the valley, it features one red, one white, and one rosé. Complex wines, simple elegance.
Wonders of Wooden Avenue, North Central Washington's premier shopping district. Getting ready to wrap up a Tuesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with a few programming reminders. We're going to be all over the place for the next 10 days or so. Don't forget we have soccer tonight at Leap-Off the Field of the Apple. It can be a beautiful night, but if you can't make it out, you can watch it right here on TV. Wenatchee Panthers hosting the Davis Pirates with Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wise up at the call, and they'll get going about 7 o'clock, the pregame at about 6:50. Then, of course, on Saturday, we will be broadcasting right on Orondo Avenue, right across the street from the courthouse for the Tenaplex Youth Parade. That broadcast gets underway at about 10:30. The parade will be coming by our location at about, I'm not 100% sure, 11:15 or so, give or take a couple. It's a parade, so, you know, there are always those variants. We will be broadcasting the Les Schwab Classy Chassis Parade on May 3rd from the local tele-headquarters on Grant Road in East Wenatchee. And, of course, the big one, the Stemel Growers Grand Parade. We'll have that for you on Saturday, May 4th, same location as we're going to be this Saturday, just outside the courthouse in Wenatchee. And something really cool sandwiched between all of that stuff. We're taking this show on the road next Wednesday. We're going to be broadcasting the entire show live from 7 to 8 a.m. at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium on the campus of Wenatchee Valley College with our good buddy Ed Nags. Ed's opening day run will begin during our live broadcast. If you're not familiar with what Ed's doing, Ed Nags is going to run about 15 miles a day, adding up to about 420 miles. He's going to run from Paul Thomas Senior Stadium all the way down to Corvallis, Oregon, all of it to raise money for mental health awareness. It's a personal story with Ed, and so we thought we'd get him going. So Ed Nags and some other celebrities are going to join us, and this show will be live at Paul Thomas Senior Field next Wednesday, May 1st, and you are more than invited to come down and watch the show live in person if you want. We don't care. So remember that. Live at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, this program next Wednesday, May 1st, beginning at 7 a.m. From the National Weather Service, here you go. Sunshine today, warmer than yesterday. After a 63-degree high on Monday, we'll top off at 68. Later on this afternoon with a nice light breeze, just a few high clouds, 47 for the overnight low tonight. Clouds are going to be a little thicker A little more prominent Wednesday, not too bad though. Partly cloudy and a high of 67. Then we cool down a little bit with quite a bit of cloud cover Wednesday night, Thursday, and Thursday night. Really no rain in the forecast, just overcast. Temperatures about normal, but Saturday looks good for the Youth Parade. And that's it for us. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Big deal, we're in it knee deep. Yes. We join the real-life Army Rangers standing in icy cold water for fun.
That is beautiful, man.
And a great cause.
It's saving lives, and it's very healing to me.
Find out how a day in the blinds is the best medicine for these American heroes.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
And then...
It's an iconic toy.
Why the toy you loved as a kid has one of Maine's small towns buzzing with excitement.
This special veteran story is made possible